My son Charles was the funniest, most popular kid in school. Yet the funniest, most popular kid in school suffered from depression, became addicted to heroin, and killed himself in 2015. Now, Charles was 6'1", 135 pounds. And he was one of those kids that if you were new at the school, he was the first one to come up to you and say, "You have someone to eat lunch with today." So he's a big advocate for the underdog. And as a child, he was very loving. He was the one who would crawl up into my lap and cuddle. So around his sophomore year, he was elected as homecoming king on homecoming court. And boy, that was just a wonderful day. Shortly after that, his drug use started to escalate, and I didn't know why. I didn't understand, but what he knew was that he was struggling with thoughts of suicide, and drugs and alcohol were a way to numb those feelings and thoughts of suicide. So that antidote ended up being something that got worse and worse and led to an eventual addiction to heroin. We would do therapy at boarding school, wilderness, outpatient therapy, therapists, clinics, you name it. And when he came back from inpatient, he was angry and he went back to coping the way he had before. What can I do as a parent? Because we think we got to fix it, we got to save them, because watching your kids struggle without doing anything is near about impossible. Well, we hadn't tried this thing called tough love, which I also think is weaponizing our love to force our loved one in recovery. And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't work. We cannot punish someone into recovery. And he wasn't having any part of that anyway. And I remember after his death thinking that I really want to read what's in this backpack, and I pulled out one of those journals and I read a song called Just to Hurt. And I'm going to quote a couple of those lines. "My demons up against me, I'm facing them now. I wear the face of a clown. I feel so unloved from the monster created from drugs. My son needed to know our love was unconditional. And in our last phone call that we didn't know was our last phone call, I did say I loved him, but here's what I wish I would have said. I wish I would have said, as much as I want you to get well, I love you even if you don't."